everybody, Vintage Collector here with another video. So today, alright, so this is really exciting for me. Last couple of videos I posted about a story about finding a new card shop, Western New York Collectibles. And it's kind of like set up like a flea market. And I've gone in there probably 4 to 5 times over the last couple of weeks. Got to know the owner a little bit. Really nice guy. His name is Joe. A lot of stuff in here. And what I ended up doing was I did something that my wife was very happy about, which was get rid of some cards because I have a closet full of boxes, and boxes. And most of it is just junk wax, you know, from 80s and 90s, hockey, baseball. And I have most of it organized, especially the baseball stuff. And I have some totes in the basement. So what I end up doing is I haul all my dupes, just dupes, because I do still enjoy collecting junk wax. And I took all my dupes and hundreds, maybe even thousands of cards, huge boxes full of stuff. And I take it to this store and I tell the owner, I said, listen, I know what I have here. And it's mostly junk wax and it's mostly stuff that you already have. And it's probably not going to move. There is some 1973 dupes in there, a lot of high numbers. And would you be open to doing some type of trade for store credit? So he took a look and, you know, he says, well, what are you thinking? And I said, I said, it's mostly just junk wax. So, but there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of cards here. But what I'd pretty much be doing would trading you my junk wax for your junk wax. And I said, I'm looking maybe $40 store credit. So we agree on it. He shakes my hand. I start looking around. And he comes up to me like 10 minutes later and says, Jay, you really shortchanged yourself here. I'd say this is more like $60 store credit. I said, hey, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I'll take $60 store credit. Well, you can see kind of behind me right here, there is 2 boxes of those behind me. And when I say that I walked out with a massive purchase of stuff, and I spent hours there digging through cards and just seeing all the different type of stuff he had. Like I was getting even sidetracked. Every time you picked up a box, there was just something else. And there was, whether it was signed ticket stubs or unsigned ticket stubs or stamps, coins, patches, not even sports related, just stuff, man, just like unbelievable stuff. I came across like a goldfish bowl full of matchbooks from local businesses that have been long closed around here. And even that like drew my attention. I did not get any of those, by the way, but it was just a really cool time to sit there and go through stuff. So I ended up amassing this just huge slew of cards. And I feel like there was no cash exchanged. It was pretty much the majority of my credit that I had done with this trade. It was pretty much a trade if we look at it in all what it was. And I'm going to show you what I got. And I am just so happy to have walked away. And I have not looked through everything yet, but I am going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to start with, this was like a stack of, these were out of boxes that were in, like, inserts, I guess, and most of these cards were marked as 25 cents to 50 cents to $1, somewhere around there. What I'm not showing is I did pick up about 300 cards for my 91, 92, and 93, 94 Upper Deck hockey sets. Those I will not bore you with. They're already in my binders, but I did pick up like almost 300 cards of those, which was very cool because you don't find those cards sold in singles very often. Now, yes, I could probably do this cheaper and complete those sets by just buying the whole set, but it's the chase part of that I really enjoy. So anyway, looking through these boxes, these are some of the 91, 92, but these are the Eurostars. So he had a whole bunch of those. I was able to get a bunch of those. This is actually one of the original Young Guns checklists right here, which I thought was very cool. And that you can see right there is Sergei Fedorov, and I think it's Johan Garblinov, but maybe I'm wrong. He never really made it in the NHL, but we all know Fedorov. So anyway, a whole stack of those Eurostars. We'll go through all those, right? Okay. Next, this one was actually quite the surprise. So this one, this is a ceremonial puck drop. This card is actually, when you look at it, it's 50 cents was what it was listed at. And I looked these up on eBay afterwards. This card probably sells for like anywhere from like $7 to $12. This set, this insert set, the ratio is 1 in every 2,880 packs. So this is kind of like an SSP. I think this is really cool. Olli Jokinen, you know, nice name, very cool image. That was really cool find. So I'm very happy with that. Got this one right here. This is just a base one, but, you know, Svechnikov, who's having such a great series with Carolina right now. And you can see it's just it's commemorating, I believe, his first goal. So very cool to find that one. I went ahead and I got a bunch of handful of these, which are from 2015-16 Upper Deck. Nothing special here, just a bunch of names, bunch of cards, which is just base stuff. Okay, nothing crazy there. Again, more Upper Deck, which I'm not going to show. So Topps Finest, I love Topps Finest baseball, and guess what? Topps Finest hockey, just as cool, right? So there's a Renberg, and these still have the protective film on it, which I think is cool. There's a Tocchet, Jason Arnott. How about Sandis Ozolinsh? Just such a cool, and these are different years too. There's Nansen Carter, Doug Waite, who was one of my favorites growing up. How about John McClain? Man, class act guy, hard worker, grinder. Slava Kozlov. So a whole bunch of these different years. You can see that these are kind of the rookie ones. Very happy to have gotten all those. These one right here are for more recent Upper Deck set, but these are inserts called Pure Energy. So you got Thomas Cabot, Cam Atkinson, Zach Parise, Dustin Byfuglien. I always say his name wrong. Mess it up, right? We got here Tuvo Tuivainen. I might be saying some of these wrong. I'm a little rusty on my hockey. Taylor Hall, one-time saver. Kuznetsov. Mika Zibanejad. Again, you can kind of see, right? So nothing crazy here. I'm not going to keep mispronouncing names. But it was cool to pick up a bunch of those inserts. Then got this Generation Next insert. Charlie McAvoy. Again, really cool to find some of these inserts. Nolan Patrick. Okay. Still going with Generation Next. Patrick Lane. Brock Bozer. How about Piers Luc Dubois. Kyle Connor. Jacob Verana. Alex DeBrincat. And again, I didn't pay sticker on any of these. Matthew Barzal. This one, older one. There's Matt Sundin. Draft board. These guys I thought were cool. They got 2 players, one on each side. So there you got Steve Yzerman. And on the back is going to be, who is that? Doug Waite. Same with this one. No, not the same with this one. But Peter Forsberg. Always like Peter Forsberg. And can't go wrong with a Joe Sakic. But in everything that I got, I decided that I wanted to start a hockey set. And I landed on 70-71 Topps, which was the first year of the Sabres. I love the design. I love the colors. And I officially picked up my very first card for that set build. It's the only one I have right now. And that is a Tim Horton. And this is a beauty. Love it. Just unbelievable card. So I thought that was a very good one to pick up for my first representation of this set. Very happy. So we have this, and I'll get into that in the next part of this video. And all right, we'll see what's in these boxes. Okay, guys. So I'm going to try and do this the best I can. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to hold this for right now. But you can see the scope of this. This is just that, you know, standard size, priority mailbox, jam-packed full of stuff. Now, there's one, okay, and there's the second one, and then we got that stuff. So I'll try and go through this a little bit and give you an idea. So these coins were actually kind of separate. And the first thing when I started looking through these, so these are from, let's see, 1990, oh man, I can't see without my readers, guys. 89. Jay Buhner was one of my favorite players growing up. I tried to emulate his batting stance as a kid. He had one of the coolest ones ever. So I'm really happy to have gotten this one. And then just picked up a few more. You know, there's the Doc Gooden, How about an Eric Davis, Joe Carter, and Darryl Strawberry. So I just picked up a handful of those to kind of just grab. And there were so many. I mean, this guy just had so many things here. But these boxes, I mean, $10 a box. Again, I got all this stuff for much less than that. And really, all it was a trade for my junk wax for pretty much his junk wax. In addition, went ahead and got this beautiful Paul Gostad, the Goose. Love Paul Gostad. He was that third, fourth line center back in the 90s. You know, that's the kind of player that I really kind of go towards, that grinder who can fight, give you, 10 to 12 goals a season, maybe a little less, but just a worker. So very cool to have that. It doesn't have an authenticator on it, but I'm not really going to say that this isn't his. The other one, though, Matt Barnaby, my favorite player of all time. Never had an autograph of his, and this one does have the authentication. So very cool, very happy to have that. So got those in this. So here's these two. We're not going to go through this whole box, but we've seen these cards, right? Pro line, whatever. What I was concerned with was that maybe it was just, the top to like bring in, because there's the junior and it's got some stuff on it, but I don't really even care about that. But then you go ahead and you pick these up, right? So pick up just a stack, and we just got more cards, more cards, more cards, and a lot of them are this Pro Set Platinum, which is pretty common set. And then baseball, there's Kirby Puckett, so it's got stars in it. It's not like it's just the top card is just covering for all this other stuff. There's a Billy Ripken. We get down to here again. There's some damage on here. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I just love having cards, and I'm not a big basketball guy, but we'll go through some of there's a hoops card. Who was that? Mark Akers. I remember having that box as a kid, actually. Here's some football. There's a Charlie Hayes studio. I mean, this is going to be so much fun to really go through. You know what I mean? And then we got the second box up here, and there's, a lot more football, and John Perella. Look at that. That's a Buffalo Bill right there in his college uniform. Wilbur Marshall. This stuff is dime a dozen. Everyone's had this stuff. Most people just throw this in the trash now. I don't think everyone really collects it. Maybe just me. But I really get a lot of joy out of this. Who's that right there? Peerless Price. Look at that. Another Buffalo Bill. I'm just kind of like, an Andre Reed right on top right there. We've got some other stuff. There's a hologram here. Who's this hologram? Oh, there you go. Hockey card. Maybe a Cam Neely. Who is that? No. Ray Bork. Ray Bork. How cool. And this one's a little bit older one. Who is that? Oleg. Don't know that guy. But that's okay. There's going to be stuff like that in here. But, I mean, this stuff is just jam-packed, full of items. Really just, how much fun is this going to be to go through all this stuff? And I couldn't be happier. This was a heck of a deal, in my opinion. I'm very happy to have added this. And, yes, it's bringing just a lot more junk into my collection. But this is stuff I really enjoy. So, yeah, I appreciate you watching. And thanks.